Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about another protest that has erupted in the northeastern state of Manipur. So Manipur, as you know, since past two and a half year has been engulfed by protests, has been engulfed by the violence largely on the basis of ethnic disturbances or ethnic differences. So let us try to understand also that what has sparked the most recent protest. Now, to deal with the protest, government has reacted by shutting down internet services, and also prohibitory orders were imposed as per the district administration as well as the state government administration. Now this recent protest has erupted after the Central Bureau of Investigation has arrested one of the major Meitei group's leader. The Meitei group is called as Arambai Tengol. The leader who was arrested by CBI is Asim Tan Singh. Now, as per the CBI report, he has been arrested, and he also was what you can call refer as a self-styled army chief, because Arambai Tangol is also believed to be one of the armed group of the Meiteis. He was detained by security forces, and along with him, 4 other associates also have been detained. Now, as a response of this, Arambai Tengol group has announced that they are not happy with the way how his leaders have been arrested and why his leaders have been arrested. So they are going on a 10-day total shutdown in the state as such. So that is the overall context we can understand. Now, as we have discussed, the main reason behind eruption of protest is the arrest of the leader of Arambai Tangol. So what is Arambai Tangol? Now, if you look at this particular image, you can see from here, this is the overall what you can say logo of this particular group, where you can see the soldiers running on horses with certain weapons on the hand. So Arambai Tangol basically is or was founded by Manipur's titular king and also currently the member of Rajya Sabha, Leshamba Sanjauba. So he is the one who has formed this particular group. This group is believed to be a kind of radical organization and also a radicalized armed militia representing the interest of Meiteis. Meiteis are a group who reside in the valley areas of Manipur, largely in the capital city of Imphal as such. Also, many experts have categorized this group as a revivalist organization. That means, what is its major objective? It wants to re-establish the pre-Hindu native Sannamahi religion. Sannamahi religion was basically a polytheistic religion, and that is why, because it was largely practiced by Meiteis, many times it is also simply referred as Meiteism. So the group also want to revive Meiteism or Sannamahi religion as such. In 23-25, the clashes that we have seen in the Manipur largely between the groups, that is Meiteis on one hand and Kuki-Jo on the other hand, members of the Kuki-Jo community have alleged that it is this particular group who should be blamed carrying out deadly attacks against Kuki community as such. So one of the leaders or major leaders of this particular group, as I told you, Asim Tan Singh, he was arrested 2 days back by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, before moving further, if you try to understand the ethnic composition of the state of Manipur, we can see the majority of the population is made up of Meitei group. They make up 53.3% population living in a small valley areas of Imphal, which is also the capital of the state as such. Then second dominant group, we have the Naga. Now we have different tribes of Naga, largely populating the northern, eastern and southeastern region of the hills in the Manipur. And then as you can see, in the southern and southwestern part, you have Kuki group or Kuki-Jo community as they are called as, they inhabit this particular area. So the last 2 to 2.5 years of violence we have seen in the Manipur is largely because of the clash of interest between Kukis and Meiteis, where Meitei want for themselves tribal status, scheduled tribal status, while Kukis have opposed this demand, and this entire opposition has resulted or has converted and transformed into a kind of violent struggle and violent movement as such. Now, when the CBI was asked why the leader of this particular group was arrested, they said that it is because the particular person, Asim Tan Singh, has been involved in various criminal activities. And one of the major criminal activities which he had participated in was abduction of an additional superintendent of police of Imphal West, and also many cases related to Manipur violence in 2023 can be linked to particular individual as such. Also, CBI has said that they are working under the direct order from the Supreme Court, where they have been designated as investigation authority in the entire Manipur ethnic violence case as such. And that is why also, because the law and order situation in Manipur is not so good. The entire case and trial related to Manipur cases have been shifted from Manipur to Guwahati. Guwahati, as you know, is the region or the city in Assam as such. So basically, in view of the law and order situation that has basically has been deteriorated in Manipur, this decision has been taken. Also, they have said that arrested members of this particular group has been brought from Imphal to Guwahati and he will be produced before the competent court for police remand as such. Now, if we talk about the protest, as soon as the report of detention and arrest by CBI spread, protesters began to erupt and began to torch tires, began to light up government buildings, and also began to block roads in different parts of the Imphal city as such. Also, recently, many protesters have begun to threaten that they will put them, basically they'll douse themselves with fire if the CPI or the police authorities do not basically leave their leaders as such. Confrontation also has begun between security forces and protesters. Many places are there where such kind of report is coming from. And thus, taking action, internet and mobile data services, including WeChat and VPN services, were suspended in the district of Imphal because, again, it is the Imphal region where most of Meiteis are largely residing, and these regions have become a hotbed of what we can call as violence as such. So, Kakching, Thubal, and Vishnupur, these are some other disturbed areas as well. Now, as far as the government response is concerned, because the violence has broken out, people have started to come in large number as far as this particular protest is concerned. So, prohibitory orders under section 163 of the BNS, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that is Act which has replaced Criminal Procedure Code, have been brought in, and across the Valley district, government has cited apprehension of serious breach of peace. If people are able to communicate with each other, especially through the use of social media, they can try to arrange and come out in large number to protest and attack government buildings, structures and all that. So there can be a risk to the disturbance of the public tranquility, and riot or affray also can spread in the area. Again, riot we have seen many times breaking out between the two different ethnic groups as such, and that could pose grave danger to human lives and properties. And that is why, to protect against these kind of threats, prohibitory orders under 163 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita has been imposed. So this is the reaction and the response of the government as such. Now, not only this, recently also all political party delegation, we can say, comprising of 26 members of Legislative Assembly of Manipur Assembly, and also Raj Sabha MP Leshimba Sanajaoba, as I told you, he is the person who has created this particular armed group of Meiteis. They met Manipur Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Now, a few weeks back, Ajay Kumar Bhalla was also in news again because Kokomi group, which is again another group representing the interest of Meiteis, had led a large-scale protest against him. They also have asked him to tender an apology, and also they have asked later for his resignation because of the incidents where the where the police forces were asked to remove, or police forces basically asked the driver of a bus to remove the word Manipur that was written on the bus as such. So that is how also you can see that every now and then some new kind of disturbance seems to be originating and coming out from the state of Manipur. Delegates requested the governor to make public the reason behind the arrest of Arambai Tengol leader, and governor also has reiterated the same point, has made the same point as made by the Central Bureau of Investigation, that it is because of his involvement in various criminal activities, including the abduction of additional SP, he has been picked up by CBI and has been taken to Guwahati in the Assam as such. Now, other development also has taken place in the Manipur. As I told you, that Kuki-Jo community is another group that you have in Manipur. So, center is expected to hold talks today with one of the Kuki-Jo groups under suspension of operation agreement. The meeting will be held with advisor to MHA on the Northeast AK Misra, who has been appointed advisor in the recent times. And also the entire question will be about how to take the talks forward and discuss ways to arrive at a framework so that the violence that has erupted in the state of Manipur can be ceased. How Meiteis and Kukis can come together, can have discussion, deliberations, and resolve together the entire matter, and how Manipur can further be put on a path toward progress, peace, and stability as well. So this is the basically going to be the entire discussion in this particular meeting with Kuki-Jo. Now, as far as the suspension of operation agreement is concerned, Kuki-Jo and Government of India earlier had signed a suspension of agreement where it has been decided that Kuki-Jo members will not attack any government officials, will not participate in violence, they will not take up arms against the government as such. And a joint monitoring group comprising of Principal Secretary, Inspector General, of Additional Director General Intelligence, representatives of Army, paramilitary forces and Home Ministry was set up, and it is the purpose or the work of this particular joint military group or joint monetary group. These are the group that recommend whether SOO should be continued or discontinued. Now here also you have to understand, Meiteis have continuously demanded that the suspension of operation agreement government has signed with the Kuki-Jo community, it should be basically abolished, and because the Kuki-Jo group have been involved in violence, especially against Meiteis for past few years. This is how we can understand the entire issue engulfing Manipur as of now. What is the reason behind the current protest and why Manipur has been coming in news as far as violence is concerned for last 2.5 years. Thank you very much. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.